Hello everyone, welcome to Praise the Run. Another episode, a double episode this week. I'm Ben, or the MrBenShow. This is my channel. And this is Patrick.
Me.
Also Litterdud. Comedy, stand-up comedy extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire.
We're here to bring you the game news. You know, I should start saying at the top of the episode, drop a like, subscribe, go check out the links below for Patrick's socials. And, you know, yeah. If you want to make a donation, the Cash App is down below and all of that. Cool, that's out of the way. Have it, share the video, comment. Anyways. Shit, Patrick, the last thing we talked about was Gamescom, and that was the only thing we talked about. And then in between that, there's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Since the last actual episode that wasn't filled with one specific subject. So, a decent amount of news came out. I mean, most of it was Gamescom related, but there was a couple of things. Yeah. But before all of that, I mean, we didn't talk about it last week. What have you been playing?
Oh man. You gave me that Blasphemous game.
Yes.
So I've been playing that.
Yes.
And that's been pretty fun.
Yes.
It was pretty fun, and now it's gotten really hard. It's still really fun. It's just now, like, you have to kind of, like, plan ahead and cry a lot. There's a lot of, it's punishing now. At first it was like, okay, this is, I don't know, every time you discover a new place, there's like one extra thing that you have to deal with than before, but then I started playing Spiritfarer.
Yes.
I think that's how you pronounce that.
Yeah.
And that's like my calm down game. You just jump on your little boat and take care of your people.
You're playing that on Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's leaving soon apparently.
Is it?
Yeah, apparently in a week or two.
Oh gosh.
Which is fitting. It's fitting for that game. Yeah. Yeah, Blasphemous is really cool. I'm glad you've been liking that game. Yes, it's very much a Souls-like, so the get good mentality is definitely there, and like, it's definitely, there's a wall.
Yeah.
You have to like, okay, now I gotta play the game and actually learn the game.
Right, yeah.
But I think that game is very much worth it, and it's so pretty.
Yeah, it's so gorgeous, and it's all pixels, but like the amount of detail they put in all the cutscenes and the characters and all of that, that's like another thing that makes me like keep playing, because I want to see like what else they're gonna, how else they're gonna, where the story's gonna go and stuff. Like,
guess I should bring that up.
It's like right off the bat, it's so nice.
It's amazing. It's like just the way like water moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, and everything's so smooth. Like all the like everything like moves smooth, and it's super nice.
You can take your headphones off because we're not gonna be doing anything with them. Not yet. No. Not for a while.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, that's just gonna be a distraction.
Cool, like a podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a pretty game.
Yeah.
Just like the way liquids move in it, like the way like your character, like the different animations for like it just flows so smoothly.
Yeah. Yeah, everything is super smooth. Like all the sword and the jumping and
enemy designs are amazing. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy's cool.
Yeah, I mean the maybe turning on B-roll was a bad idea, because now you're just gonna be focused on it.
I get so distracted.
Yeah, it's a really cool game. I'm glad you like it. Spiritfarer, on the other hand, how was your time with that? How deep of that are you in?
I've only found a few people. I've mostly just been like going around collecting stuff, and I'm more focused on just the building, the boat, and stuff aspect. I don't really care about like the story. I mean, it's a good story so far, but like I don't know. I wish I could just do that, like just the boat thing, like that. If that was like a forever mode, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know how long the game goes. I imagine there's like an actual ending once you deliver everyone to the final gate or whatever it's called.
Yes, there's very much a
but
good ending.
It would be cool if there was like just a forever.
Yeah, I think the ending is it's worth it. Makes everything feel complete.
Right.
But yeah, I think this game was. I think Spiritfarer was adorable.
The
soundtrack's really good. And it's just good vibes the whole time. You think some characters are going to be standoffish, and they're not. They're really just there to move on into the afterworld.
Right. I really like how you explore and like how you can select it on the map and then it'll go like in real time and you can still do other things.
Yeah.
You know, but like if you do plan a longer trip, you do have that much more time to do things. It's not like a loading screen or something where it, you know.
Yeah.
It's the same, like it's actually, I don't know, I thought that was cool. Like you can, and there are like short short travel areas or whatever.
Yes, yeah.
Fast travel.
Fast travel.
But I mean, I feel like once you get the boat like to a certain size, you'll need that extra time anyways.
Yeah, definitely.
To manage all
Just
that.
trying to get across and do everything.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're liking both. There's definitely two very weird games to be playing at the same time.
Right. Well, I like to have like kind of opposite games when I play, so that way, you know, one balances out the other.
Yeah.
So. And then I always just go to Rocket League at the end of the day, and I'm still playing that.
Of course, Rocket League. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I still suck, but I don't know. Sometimes I just hit the ball right, I do like a nice flip, and it goes in the goal, and I'm like, that keeps me going.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't for that, I would have quit a long time ago. But every once in a while, you get one of those sick clips, you know, and you're like, oh, maybe I'm learning.
You're like, yeah, I'm getting better.
Yeah.
I could be doing it.
It's not all accidental. I'm totally learning and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just sucks me in. Can't help it.
Hell yeah.
I think that's pretty much the only two games I've really been doing.
Really? You didn't play anything else?
You know what? I wrote them down.
Nothing at your lady's house or anything like that? Nothing special?
We started playing New Hope again. A lot. Was it A New Hope? Or Little Hope. Little Hope. Yeah.
Man,
we started redoing that.
The Dark Pictures. Redoing it?
Well, we beat it the first time. We wanted to try to get a different ending. So we were trying to get a better ending or whatever.
Yeah.
Which so far has been cool, but I've been kind of trying to do like the like the weird answers, like to agitate the game a little bit. And
yeah.
It's kind of breaking it a little. It's not as smooth as the first playthrough, you know?
No, definitely.
Because, you know, now we're trying to choose all the wrongs or different stuff or whatever. And, like, there's some parts where just, like, no matter what you choose, there's certain directions the game has to go.
Yes.
And so there's certain choices that kind of, like, do a thing. And then, like there's this scene where you discover the fog is like keeping you where you're at, like you can't go backwards. It'll just turn you around. So there's like a selection where you can do it by yourself, or you can do it with another person. But then if you do it with the other person, it still cuts to the automatic scene where they like do it by themselves and didn't do it with that same person again, and then she acts shocked like she didn't do it just to. It's just like the silly things like that.
And it definitely feels like these games like even though you're doing choices, like, it definitely funnels you. Like, it, even more so, like, I think the first game, Until Dawn, was very cool at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think the butterfly effect, choosing your path, was fully developed yet.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think over time they've gotten worse with it. Where it feels like there's like slight changes, but nothing feels significant enough where it makes the story change. Other than somebody dying, of course. That's the whole appeal. Who's gonna die this time?
Yeah.
But I feel like main story beats, like, no matter what, you kind of get funneled to. Like, you're always gonna find fucking tongue monster in this game. You're always gonna find fucking the same cutscenes of the witches being burned or hung or whatever like that. It's always that. It's not a complete different game if you play it a different way.
And then especially with this one, because this one has, like, for the most part, the ending is, like, pretty much the same, because it is just the one person or whatever. So it's like, no matter what, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Man of Medan was the same thing. I didn't play House of Ashes, but I assume it's the same. People say House of Ashes is definitely the best out of the three so far.
Yeah. So I mean, you would hope that it only gets better once the fourth one comes out or whatever. But
yeah, but I don't feel like my complaints are what people complain about. These games still have a lot of weird bugs and frame rate issues and things still feel
even
clunky.
Like some of the animation, like with the humans and stuff, it's very like
uncanny,
silly looking. Like the mouths and stuff are all like, wow.
Yeah, it's very uncanny like that. It's I don't know. It's unfortunate. They are getting better, but I feel like it's the Bloober Team thing. Like, I mean, Bloober Team makes bad games that are okay horror games, but they're bad games. These are at least attempting something fun.
Yeah.
And I do have fun playing them, but I think while Bloober Team has some okay story beats, but has a bad game, I think this has okay gameplay with bad story beats for the most part too.
Yeah.
But that's just personal, like how these games are written out, and it's has this underlying psychological horror thing, but really it's like, I don't know, surface level. Like there's no depth to anything with that.
Right.
It's just like, oh, we're being spooky. I don't know. I'm just nitpicking the nitpick. Yeah, Little Hope, I think I enjoyed probably the best out of their three games, just because I like Salem and the Witch Trials and all that stuff, and paranormal, ghosty horror. But it's definitely a 7 out of 10, while the other games to me are like 6s, 6.5.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I had fun. I'm glad you guys are having fun, especially enough to have a second playthrough. The Devil in Me comes out next month, I believe. Around Halloween time.
Oh, nice.
The fourth one.
Heck yeah.
And they also came out with a game that's not part of this series recently. It's like another full length, like Until Dawn kind of its own thing.
Yeah.
It's called The Quarry.
Okay.
And it's more like a Friday the 13th, like in a camp.
Oh, word. I may have seen that. I didn't realize it was the same people, but yeah, I'll have to look into that one too then.
Yeah, that game's development's interesting, because originally that was going to be a Stadia exclusive.
Oh wow.
And once Google pretty much axed the whole Stadia program, other than the software still exists and the hardware is still out there. But they canceled all of their exclusive titles. 2K picked up the quarry and finished it because the game was like almost done. So Supermassive was like, we just gotta find somebody to like publish this.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2K did it. I'm not sure if they did it Until Dawn as well. But I'm also not sure if the quarry sold well or not. Maybe it sold well for these types of games. I feel like the quarry didn't have a lot of build up. These games, you see the first trailer at the end of the next one.
Yeah.
And then they hype it up for like months. So I don't know. Well, I've been playing a couple games too. I haven't been playing much, but I did on the channel start a couple of things. Or at least on the channel up now. I started Outlast. It's been it's always fun to go back to these games and oh, hold on. Just great way to start. Just a quick cut, real quick. Outlast. Yeah, I've been playing Outlast. It's been I love Outlast. I love the feeling of being scared, and nothing is scarier than these. At least the original Outlast game, in my opinion, it's one of the more scariest games. I don't get scared a lot from psychological horror. I love ghost horror. I think humanoids or humans are more scary than anything that than a ghost could be or anything like that. Yeah. So Outlast is very much that. It's a deep dive into hell.
Yeah.
And we, on our old gaming channel, Patrick and I played through Outlast together. So it's definitely not my first time. But at the beginning, not even just the beginning, the first 2/3, 3/4 of the game, I think are amazing. In horror, that back quarter with the wall rider ghost and like you're in the science facility, that kind of loses me, but they gotta end it somehow.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to get through this so I can get to the DLC, because the DLC is unlike any other. I love Whistleblower so much. Yeah. Whistleblower is horrifying. And then Outlast 2, I've never played Outlast 2. I've played like maybe an hour or two, maybe, but I've seen it be finished before.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to actually play that game all the way through, because I mean, when I played through the demo or whatever way back when it came out, I mean, it just felt like more Outlast, so I was super down with it. It was like, oh, we're in a cornfield now instead of in an asylum. Right. But after that, like, it was just like, okay, I'll wait for the game to come out. And then once it came out, I never put my hands on it, and then I was just watching somebody else play through it. Yeah, I'm really excited for Outlast 2, so playing through Outlast 1 is a treat because it's always fun. The second episode is what came out today as of recording this. I mean, this is going to come out tomorrow, so it's not like it's super long. But on top of that, the other game that's directly behind me that I've been recording, I recorded the first episode, is a Fairly Odd Parents Breaking the Rules.
Nice.
I love my guilty pleasure licensed games, and this is definitely another licensed 3D platformer that I'm actually surprised on how good it controls.
Yeah. And it's for original Xbox.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It is backwards compatible on the 360, which is how I'm playing it. But yeah, I'm just trying to pull up some B-roll. There's a lot more effort put into it than I thought. Like, there was so much voice acting. Like,
oh wow,
it is fully voice acted. There's so much dialogue. Like, the opening of the game is like 6-minute cutscene explaining the lore of the game. Basically, Cosmo and Wanda, in the middle of explaining the rules to Timmy, drops the book, and Vicky grabs hold of it, and Wanda and Cosmo get sentenced to fairy duty or whatever, and they have to go retrieve the book, but the whole idea is that each level is a different page of the book, trying to get it back, because every time Vicky makes a wish now while holding the book, it happens. So like, it's like, oh, I wish you'd go to sleep, and then you get sent to sleep, and you're in your dream world, and that's where the tutorial starts. And then you come back out, and then the level that I picked was the video game level, and she's like, I wish you would get sucked into the TV or something like that, and then you get sucked into the video game, and it's all basically like homages to different episodes and stuff.
Yeah. That's cool though.
I do think the character models are hideous. They look like inflatables.
They are a little, but yeah, it's very like. The edges are very edgy, you know. Like it was made on like Microsoft Paint.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
they're like, we can't render flowing hair, so
like they should have just kept the regular art style, because it's not like they didn't have amazing 3D animation in the cartoon. There was like times when they did like cool shit that was fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure at the time too, this looked amazing.
That's
I'm sure
true.
this was
absolutely.
like just like the cartoon at the time. I mean, I remember Bow for Bikini Bottom.
I was gonna say this has that SpongeBob like vibe.
Well, it's around that same time where like licensed games weren't just the movie game or whatever like that. Like Nickelodeon games were like actual games. They might be B tier games, but they were very much its own thing. So yeah, it definitely has that vibe because of that. Yeah, it's nothing much to write home about other than it's a decent 3D platformer, and I'll be playing through it. It's not super long.
Yeah.
I like weird licensed games, so this was next on my list.
Heck yeah. I like how the hat looks like it's just coming out of his head, like just morphing out, like he has a horn. That's great.
Yeah, it's not super long. It's 5 hours. Is what this playthrough says.
100%. Right there.
Yeah.
All the collectibles.
I'm not going for all that shit. Fuck that. But it's been fun. I'll be jumping probably back into that tomorrow and recording another episode. The first episode will be coming out tomorrow, or not tomorrow, the next day. Tomorrow will be the podcast. Anyways, that's all for, I guess, what we've been playing. Unless you have anything else. With Gamescom, I was pretty busy with doing all of that and getting videos out on top of work and everything like that, so I didn't really play anything during Gamescom. I started Outlast at the beginning of Gamescom, and then I bookended it with an episode of Outlast. Yeah. Well, if that's the case, then we can get into the news.
The news.
So, just like we haven't talked about games for 2 weeks, we haven't talked about news really for 2 weeks.
It's all fairly unfair.
Yeah. Other than I'm still in the search thing. Other than what's happened at Gamescom. But there was a couple of tiny little things that I want to talk about that happened before Gamescom, or on the edges of Gamescom, not Gamescom related. But the big one is Masahiro Sakurai, the creator of Super Smash Bros., has started his own YouTube channel in his retirement. It is just a nice little like him just talking to the camera, explaining different things in game development. I mean, it's not always talking to into the camera. There's a lot of B-roll and Sakurai YouTube channel. Bam, bam, bam. Let me just creating games. Master Sakurai on creating games. Yeah, sure. But yeah, it's kind of set up like his old Smash Bros. Things, where I'll talk to the camera directly, and then I'll be B-roll thrown over and stuff like that.
That's cool.
He's gonna go into talking about like specific games that he's worked on, like he did the original Kirby, working on that, on top of like little things like today's video was like explaining lag and why lag is bad.
Oh wow.
Or then this one is what just about the channel, but risk and reward, the secret to fun, stuff like that. The perils of lag. That was today's video.
I feel like he just introduced this channel and he already has a lot.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he every day he's just pumping out a 5-minute video.
Yeah. Excellent.
I mean, obviously he has a team.
Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a whole. Yeah.
I wonder how many of these he has pre-recorded. Like these
Right.
obviously are pre-recorded. I wonder how many of these he's sitting on. What happens if he runs out? Does he plan on recording more? Does he only have a certain list of things he wants to talk about?
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see where this goes. And I guess this kind of means that Sakurai is probably not making another game. At least for now. He might get bored. That seems to be Sakurai's thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to make games anymore. Okay, I'm coming out of retirement because I'm bored.
Right.
Like the last few Smash games that came out, he's like, I think I'm done after the next one, you know, I'm getting up there.
Right. He doesn't look old at all, though.
Yeah, dude, he's like 60 something though.
Like he looks like.
He created Kirby.
It's nuts. He looks like maybe 40.
Kirby, and I think there was
not even. Sometimes, like every time it flashes back, he looks a little bit younger. Like it's almost like he's de-aging right before our eyes.
I think he created Kid Icarus as well. Yeah, Sakurai has looked the same for the last 20-something years.
That's crazy.
It's like Hideo Kojima. Kojima has looked the same age for the last 20 years.
Right.
And now he just has a little gray in his beard now.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I think this is super cool. I mean, just a legend in video games. Just talk like this is the equivalent of like a Miyamoto, or like in Nintendo before he died, like Iwata. That's why like when Iwata's book came out about video game development, asking Iwata, it was such a huge deal because there was no insights in Nintendo like that.
Yeah.
And to have direct insight from the lead of Nintendo.
Right.
It was such a huge deal. I gotta let this dog in because this is fucking stupid.
Such a gorgeous day. Silly dog.
Dumb dog, learn how to read a clock. You got like 2 hours before dinner time. Yeah, this is just a little cute thing.
I dig it. It's like going to the sage old man on the top of the mountain, but you know, now he's just like coming to you.
I shouldn't say little, this is huge. It's a big deal. But yeah, it's definitely like, yeah, the wise old man. Like this is something that as gamers, as people who enjoy the video games industry, should cherish, because it's not very common, and I would have said it's not gonna happen again, but the Hideo Kojima podcast kind of proved me wrong.
Right.
After like 2 days later, but this is something different. It's not just Kojima. I mean, Kojima just shooting the shit is cool. A couple years ago, the creator of, I think, Devil May Cry 5, he also has a podcast where he talks to video game developers and legacy people in the industry and Japanese gaming. And it's like a very laid back, like they're drinking whiskey at a bar podcast, but it's not cool. Like super informative like this is. This is specifically educational,
right?
Which is cool. Anyways, with Nintendo news, we can just move on to Nintendo news. You're not a huge Pokemon fan. I am, though. And a new Pokemon has been announced.
A new game?
No, the game's been announced, but a new Pokemon from the game.
Oh, okay.
Because usually when they announce the game, they show off a couple of the starters, and then they show maybe 1 or 2 Pokemon.
Oh, look at that tree.
But yeah, they just will,
yeah, look at that.
Show off some Pokemon here and there. Today we got the trailer of Grafaifi. I think that's his name. Yeah, Grafaifi. A lemur who paints with his middle finger.
Wow.
That wasn't the actual reveal trailer. That was the introduction trailer. But the reveal trailer was like a little nature documentary shot thing. I thought it was cute.
Oh, that's cute. What is paint? What is that? Is that like its own element now?
No.
Is that like a thing?
No.
Like, is it water?
No, it's just paint.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't have. Is that like a? Like there's fire and there's earth. Now there's paint. Like there's gonna be a whole collection of paint monsters.
No.
Listen, I don't very little about this game. I'm just trying to.
No, it's just paint.
Just one guy who shoots paint. Just so happens.
There's a couple of Pokemon that do
paint
things. Like there's a Smeargle, which is a Dalmatian dog, French dog that paints with his tail.
Oh, okay.
And then I guess Grafaifi is a lemur that has paint in his fingers. And Grafaifi, graffiti. I think that's as much as they thought about it. Is I'm sure the Fi is like.
It's probably a type of
monkey thing, yeah. And then graffiti on top of it.
I mean, it's a cool little mix. Yeah, it's snazzy. But so if I wanted to play that card,
I'm guessing he'll be like a psychic type.
You think it'd be a psychic? Or?
But if not, he's probably a normal type.
That's cool.
Yeah, Smeargle, the paint dog, is just a normal type Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I'm Grafaifi is definitely not going to be the max. I don't think they're gonna make a huge deal out of him if he's not gonna evolve past that.
Yeah.
I assume he has a bigger form.
Just like a gorilla with paint brushes made of logs
or 5-gallon jug of paint on his back or something. I have no clue what they could do. That's the Pokemon news for the week.
Grafaifi.
Pokemon cards are coming out. There's always that, but video game wise, that was the only thing. Grafaifi. I wouldn't mind a paint class, or a paint type. That would be weird.
Yeah.
But whatever. I like Smeargle a lot. I could like Rafai. He's kind of ugly. Yeah, the more I look at him, I don't like him as much. But
his eyeballs look like those it reminds me of like a drone, like a robot of some sort.
yeah, just like completely dead.
Like those, yeah.
Hollowed out, just dead. Yeah. Nintendo news? Do we have any other Nintendo news? I don't have a video to pop up, but let's see if I can pull up a thing. In the meantime, I'll just put on. Where did that? Sure, Splatoon 3.
Heck yeah. Everyone loves Splatoon 3.
I pulled up two news stories, but I didn't pull up this one. I should have, but they were just talking about it on the podcast we're listening to because they were the people who talked about it. Nintendo Direct is coming in September. We are gonna... Apparently, the rumor, according to Jeff Grubb and Mike Minotti, of on their podcast, The Last of the Nintendogs, talked about a direct coming in September, which would follow pattern. It makes sense. It would follow patterns of previous years. Usually, we get a couple of smaller directs throughout the year. Usually, a January one, maybe a March. April time frame one. April probably more. Into March, that's when the physical year ends, so they're announcing things for the next physical year. And then we get one around the E3 time usually. And then September is usually the big one.
Yeah.
That's when it's not a direct mini, it's not like a focus direct where it's like we're doing a Splatoon 3 direct with 15 minutes of gameplay and some other announcements. A Nintendo Direct Showcase is what it would be called, and it's 45 minutes, usually all killer, no filler. Big announcements. That's where you get Zelda, Mario, Metroid, Bayonetta, like the big ones.
Right.
Speaking of titles that are big ones, along with that, Jeff Field and Mike Minotti have said that it will be a blowout of Zelda. We were supposed to, with the 35th anniversary of Zelda, get the remake ports of Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD, or not remake ports, but the updated ports for the Wii U. We're going to get updated again for Switch, and we were supposed to get them together as a package. That was last year, and it never came. Skyward Sword came. We got Skyward Sword HD. That's the Zelda that not a lot of people like, but they did that one.
Yeah.
But they still, no Wind Waker, no Twilight Princess, the two games that people are asking for. Apparently, with this Zelda blowout, that's going to be the focus. Or at least the big announcement. And then later speculation talking about Breath of the Wild 2, maybe the name reveal, blah blah blah. I don't know about all that. Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD remakes or remasters, ports, whatever, so be it. That has been more and more likely as time has gone on, just because Nintendo likes to make things and just put it on a shelf until the right time.
Right.
We have so many games like that. And apparently these games have been sat on a shelf for like 2 years now.
Wow.
But Luigi's Mansion 3 was like that. And, what was another? Advance Wars is one that's like that. They delayed Advance Wars indefinitely until whenever they feel like putting it out because of the war. It was like supposed to come out the week the war started or the week after the war started.
Wow.
And they delayed it indefinitely, but they could just sit on that game forever if they wanted to. Why not? The the other big thing, it's not getting as much traction, but it's just another HD port, remaster that people... It's been in the rumor mill, people have been talking about for a long time, is that Metroid Prime, the original one, will be getting its remake, and this will be served, or shown off there. That, I definitely believe, along with all of these, all the talk and rumors and everything like that, that exists. I don't know if they would put it next to Zelda.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nintendo will do Nintendo, but that's a big order. I mean, it is just a port of the original. It's not Metroid Prime 4.
Right.
I mean, if it was Metroid Prime 4, that might even outshine the Zelda ports, but I think they want to give that remake its due as well, but apparently that remake has been on a shelf sitting there for a while. That's really the big news out of that. Another news story before I go on to other videos and stuff, just because I can't show images or anything, or video might get a DMCA takedown. Ubisoft officially reveals Assassin's Creed Mirage after protagonist leaks. A bit of artwork from the long-rumored Assassin's Creed Mirage appeared to leak last night. Then this morning, Ubisoft finally confirmed that the game is real, maybe earlier than it had intended to make the official reveal. It's quite a leaky ship over there. This is written by Levi Winslow from Kotaku. Late yesterday, a piece of artwork that appeared to be related to an upcoming entry in Ubisoft's long-running stealth action series popped up online, sporting a Assassin's Creed Mirage logo. It depicts a white hooded figure standing down a shadowy form, wielding a curved sword. The exact context is unclear, but it's possible the leaked image is tied to future downloadable content and planned for the announced the game. The image is, I'll show you it, but if you want to go look, just Google Assassin's Creed Mirage. This is the image that leaked.
You know, that reminds me of a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very generic cover.
It reminds me of the other 4 or 5.
I was gonna say one thing.
Creed games.
I was gonna say one thing, and then like 50 other images of different games popped in my head. Like, there was no. Like, I thought of Prince of Persia, God of War, a Star Wars game. Like, I thought of like 4 different games that have that similar cover. I'm just like, Assassin's Creed. How many covers?
The last 3 Assassin's Creed games have had that cover. Assassin's Creed Mirage, previously codenamed Rift, is the follow-up to 2020's Viking-themed Valhalla, set in 9th century Baghdad. And originally planned as an expansion to Valhalla, Mirage will put Valhalla supporting character Basim Ibn Ishaq, I probably fucked that name up completely, in the lead role, feature a more condensed world to explore, and focus primarily on stealth gameplay. Many of the deets were already uncovered by Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier in February, with Schreier purporting? Sure, that's not what I would have put there, but purporting that the game will land sometime in spring 2023. Now, between the leaked image and Ubisoft official announcement tweet, we've got our first glimpse of what Mirage will look like. And while it isn't much yet, it looks like quintessential Assassin's Creed. So basically, the pitch for this Assassin's Creed was to return the root, smaller, not as bloated open world, just as not short, but direct to the point Assassin's Creed original, like stealth gameplay, like that kind of breed. It would still have more modern controls and stuff like that, but just a more focused on the assassins part of it. 'Cause
right.
I mean, for better or worse, depending on what you like, Valhalla is really good. I think Odyssey is amazing. That the open worlds are definitely very bloated, and there's a lot of nothing to do in between giant areas. But
yeah, they're like horse riding between.
Yeah, and there's nothing to see. It's not like The Witcher with the giant open world. There's like enemies on different corners. There could be like a necker nest or like a fucking a whole bunch of drowners off in a puddle somewhere. And like The Witcher was really good with that. Or Breath of the Wild. It's more of Breath of the Wild, I think. Breath of the Wild, even though there would be like goblins or whatever running around, Breath of the Wild still feels very empty on purpose, but it still is an empty open world for the most part. I'm really excited for it. Kyle, our roommate, Patrick and I's roommate, is very excited for that. He loves Assassin's Creed. He's actually been playing Valhalla over the last week because he's had the itch to play Assassin's Creed. He's like, this isn't doing it for me, but I'm gonna play through it anyways. But yeah, he's been enjoying that. I've been watching him play that. I was watching him last night while I was editing.
Nice.
Yeah, new Assassin's Creed do anything for you?
I mean, I might try it out. I really liked the old stuff. I feel like there was like a point where they just kept going.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
And now, I don't know, maybe they've turned it back around. I really don't even know how the story's even continued. But I'll give it a shot. I mean, I love stealth games.
Yeah.
So, if they're bringing it back to the roots.
Yeah, you got super into Assassin's Creed. Or not Assassin's Creed, Hitman this year.
Yeah, I love Hitman. I play that every once in a while. I'll jump on, especially like when they introduce something new. You know, I'll check that out.
Yeah, did you play the new map yet? The one that they just released like a couple weeks ago.
No, not yet. I did get on, but I think I ended up doing like a side mission in a different location, and then that took a minute. So I was like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it was free or if you need like the premium version or whatever, but
I'm pretty sure I bought the whole thing because I'm only playing the first one on Game Pass, but I bought the second and the third one.
Yeah.
So I should, unless it's like a DLC or something, I should be able to.
I think it's a DLC, but it's just the DLC. Like, it's just download that level. I'm sure you could do it from the game itself. Like, go in there and be like, you have a level that you can download.
Probably.
Because that game's like always online or whatever. Well, how do you feel about that being a game that they support for a few more years, like, and just keep adding to it?
I don't mind that at all.
Yeah,
I think that's cool. Just keep being introduced to new missions and stuff, but you get the same. You know, you slowly collect the things.
Yeah,
I'd prefer that because then you're building. You're one spy. You're not like starting a new Hitman or whatever. Like.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Hitman, especially Hitman 3 being a home for all of the games now.
Yeah.
Them adding to Hitman 3 constantly is just... I mean, like, they supported the first two games amazingly.
Mm-hmm.
Adding, like, special contracts and stuff like that, and new... I forgot what it's called, what the game type is called in the game, but where you do, like, you have a certain amount or certain things to get through and do certain things to kill people without dying.
Yeah.
I forgot what there's not the elusive targets, so the
like objectives or
but it's a certain kind of thing. Anyways, the reason why I ask, and I got you to bring up Hitman. Iowa Interactive is working on a game.
Yeah.
Right now. They're working on a James Bond game.
Oh,
It's going to be the next game.
That's right. Okay.
James Bond game, Project 007, gets release date blow in new report. Is the headline from Dextero is what I'm on. From Brianna Reeves. I've never been on Dextero, so let's see what this is about. A couple months ahead of Hitman's 3 record-breaking launch, series creator Iowa Interactive announced Project 007. The studio couldn't offer specifics, but said that the title will run on the Glacier engine, the proprietary technology that's long powered Agent 47's ventures. Project 007 won't merely adapt an existing James Bond title either, anyways. Instead, the team plans to create an all-new origin story for the beloved secret agent. Hitman and Bond fans alike remain eager to see how IO approaches the property. However, the wait for its arrival could last for quite a few years. As spotted by Twitter user Dark Detective, IO Interactive recently published its annual report for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2022. The Outlook section of the report's notes that Iowa enjoyed solid revenue and profits for a couple years because of significant release Hitman 3. In the next couple of years, however, profits may drop due to long production phases ahead before the next releases hits the market. The company estimates fiscal year 2024 and 2025 will experience a significant decrease, which implies James Bond title might not release until 2025. And then they go on to show the tweet along with, like, that tweet has, like, the printout reports of that, of those numbers and everything. But basically what it gets down to is that IO in their earnings thing, it's like, hey, people investing, we might not be making a lot of more money in 24-25, but we're not seeing a complete decline in it.
Right.
But assumingly, with their mentioning of Hitman 3 and the growth of Hitman 3, it being on Game Pass, I'm sure helps. It being on the PlayStation, I think it's on the PlayStation Premium thing or whatever. It being on there helps. That they would continue to support this, or at least have like a small B team, like just keep making content, just keep doing little updates, little things. Like, it doesn't even have to be elusive targets or whatever. If they just added like a random new NPC in a level, like, people would freak out.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're at that point where we can do that so easily.
Yeah,
I mean, look at GTA. They've been going for years, just adding new stuff to the 5th game. Like,
yeah, exactly.
And you could do this forever. Just a new map every once in a while, a couple new NPCs. Give me a new way to kill. I mean, they kind of did that with the newest map. They introduced, like, new mechanics, I think. They were, like, new, like, things that they haven't even ever done in Hitman. Which I kind of thought was, like, a wink toward the 007 game. Like, this is, like, they're showing things that they're going to put into that game type thing.
Yeah, definitely.
But it would be cool if they also added those new mechanics into older... I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. I'm trying to remember what they were. There was like 2 or 3 things. I think.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But it'd be cool if they went back and added them.
Was swimming one of them? I think you can swim at that new level.
Maybe.
I think swimming might be one.
But either way, if they could like add that to like the older ones or whatever, stuff like that. Now that it is all like in one central HUD, it is like you're your own spy. So like they introduce these new things and you just accept the mission, like you are the hitman and go about your day.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see what this team comes up with, both for Hitman 3 and of course James Bond. new Bond sounds exciting.
Yeah. Especially with it, if it's going to be like a whole new story and stuff, that's really cool too.
Yeah. Another game that's on the shelf. I'd assume it's not directly Nintendo related. It's somewhat Nintendo related because it was on Nintendo with James Bond. The GoldenEye remake or remaster port thing. It's not a remake. It's just a port of the original with modern controls. But that was another game that was shelved. Probably likely to the war.
Yeah.
While Advance Wars, you're fighting fake Russians in that game. Russian adjacent, Russian-like or light characters. In GoldenEye, they're just straight up Russian bad guys. So nice. I bet Nintendo and Microsoft were kind of like, let's hold off for a little bit. But that was supposed to be, like, the thought was that was going to be revealed at Xbox's event, E3 event, or Summer Games Fest event.
Right.
That didn't show up. So maybe this direct showcase in the 40 minutes or whatever it could be might be there.
Could be part of that. That would make sense.
That's
a cool little.
Yeah, people were like, "Oh, it's a Zelda blowout thing," and the other thing people were thinking, it might not be a Zelda blowout. It might be a remaster blowout. Because we're talking about Zelda remasters, we're talking about Metroid Prime remasters, Advance Wars remaster, and now maybe a GoldenEye remaster on top of that.
That would be interesting.
That's supposed to be sitting on. And there's a couple of other remasters that people want.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest 3 needs to be shown off. There's an HD 2D remake of that coming out. People really want a Chrono Trigger remake. I could see that. I could see maybe one of the Final Fantasies being announced remade.
Yeah.
And if that was the case as well.
Are there any left to remake? I feel like they've all been at least remade once.
6 is one of the big ones.
Yeah.
6 hasn't been remastered like that. If it was an HD 2D like that, I could see that happening.
That'd be cool.
I'm not sure if... I mean, Tactics is really the only other one. A Tactics remake people would lose their shit for.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Or if they did like a Tactics collection, if they brought all the PSP ones over, along with the Game Boy one remade, that could be huge. But yeah, I'm new Nintendo stuff. We got a Bond before the IO's Bond, but plenty of Hitman coming. What is to be believed? They haven't confirmed, but they're not making games for 2025 is 3 years away.
I'm sure they just have. Yeah, they're probably just gonna dump a whole bunch of new stuff.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it was more hints and nods toward the 007 game, just like all the way up to it or whatever.
Yeah. And maybe they'll do a remaster. What would be cool for IO? I want to remaster those originals. Like Hitman 2, Silent Assassin, and Hitman Contracts. Like,
yeah, that would be cool.
Give me those 3. And then they did the Blood Money and Absolution remasters and ports for PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
But I think those could get a little bit. They could look a little bit better.
Yeah.
So that would be cool to see. But yeah, on top of remasters and stuff, Last of Us Part 1 came out. Last of Us Part 1, we can put on our headset for this. This is a short little review. Giant Bomb gave my favorite review for it. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Yep. That's about the takeaway. The game's still that game.
Yeah.
A game that came out in 2013. It was like the swan song to the PlayStation 3.
Right.
Got remastered a year later for the PlayStation 4. And then now has been remastered again for the PS5.
And that's it. They just made it look a little better, I guess.
They redid some assets. They redid facial animations and body animations, but yeah, it still controls the same. In some case, some of the bugs are still in there.
Yeah.
It's not a complete remake, even though they're calling it that. It still has like the skeletal framework underneath of that original game. Like it's the original voice acting, the original mocap. It's the like original body frames for that animation. It's not a full remake, it's more of a remaster.
Yeah.
But it's kind of somewhere in between as well.
And it's still $70.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. That's a whole nother argument. If I'm in the boat. If you have played The Last of Us Part 1 or the remaster or whatever, wait for this to go to the premium,
right,
or buy this on sale. If you have never played The Last of Us and you want the definitive best looking version of this game, including the DLC, now its controls slightly better, that $70 is worth it. The game looks night and day. It's a huge difference, and it's coming to PC. That's another thing. This will also be
still $70 is a lot.
That's next gen prices, man.
That's
and
true.
It sucks. The argument of that was the same argument thrown at Demon Souls. This I see even more of that being a thing. Demon Souls, it was like, okay, there is not even the skeletal framework. They're rebuilding that game from the ground up. Blue Point is just looking at design docs, but everything that they touch is them. This is definitely Naughty Dog went back to old Naughty Dog game and made new Naughty Dog game out of old Naughty Dog game.
Just dusted it off and added some
new coat of paint. I mean, like I said, there's some grease in those hinges.
Yeah.
Like, things are more fluid, but like the immersion breaking little things are still there. Like, I mean, in this game, I have two so burned in my mind. It's been so long since I've played. It has been a long time since I played Last of Us Part 1. It's been 2014 was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's still fresh enough where I remember walking into a room, crouching behind something, and then Ellie is just like fucking walking in front of a clicker, and because I'm in stealth, the clicker's not going to register it because it's still thinking I'm in stealth mode.
Right.
So whatever Ellie's doing is fuck all. It doesn't matter because she's still supposed to be in stealth mode, but she'll just stand in front of a clicker and like whisper at you and stuff like that. It's just completely immersion breaking. There are accounts of that happening in this, and it's not a huge deal. It's just one of those things that you can't. With having an AI partner through the whole game, it's very hard to do that and make it not happen like that.
There's gonna be moments.
I think Last of Us Part 2 was better with that. Definitely, they were a lot more aware. but because they weren't as aware in Last of Us Part 1 that it's, or the original Last of Us Part 1 is still very much like that original. For better or for worse, it's still that game. But cool. I'm just getting 9s and 10s and 8s and whatever.
Nice.
Still that game. On the Xbox side of things, before we go back to PlayStation, Xbox Game Pass officially reveals Friends and Family Plan. Xbox is beginning the rollout of a new Game Pass subscription plan that allows friends and family to share access to the service.
Wow.
When gamers think about subscription services, it's hard for Xbox Game Pass not to pop in their heads. The monthly paid
there's
service...
only so many.
No, well, I mean, they all have their own now.
No, I know, but the way they worded that, they were like, it's hard not for Game Pass not to pop in your head. It's like, yeah, there's only like 3 game systems. I mean, like...
Yes and no. I mean, so...
I guess on PC there's multiple, like, platforms you can subscribe to, but, I mean...
Yeah.
You're going to think of, like, Game Pass or PlayStation Pass. Or...
Yeah, or...
I'm just being nitpicky.
Ubisoft or EA Origin or EA Play or GOG has their thing, or...
Yeah, but those are all things that you know and, like...
what the fuck does that mean? I'm a gamer who knows subscription service. That was the quote that you're trying to nitpick.
Yeah, I'm talking about the common folk that only know about Xboxes and
quit
PlayStations.
Being a fucking common folk and
the commoner of the day, you know?
I mean, even in that, you have PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox.
Yeah.
Xbox is definitely still that top dog.
Very true.
Whether, or even if Amazon Gaming or Google Stadia or whatever. Or Apple has their Apple Arcade.
And now Netflix has mobile games.
Yeah, which is weird.
When will it end?
Yeah, it's really weird. It's not even just mobile games. Is it just... No, it is just mobile.
I mean, they have those, like, little games on the Netflix TV where you get...
Yeah.
Do the quizzes.
But this is different. This is, like, the Oxenfree people making a game for them, and then they picked up the people who made Into the Breach, which was a tile tactics-based mech game, which is really cool. It's, like, pixelated and stuff. That's a really cool game. It was so weird that they bought them. Anyways... Back to what I was talking about. This is on Game Rant by Alex Hopley. It was actually posted today.
Nice.
When gamers think about subscription services, it's hard for Xbox Game Pass not to pop into their heads. The monthly paid service from Microsoft brings new titles into subscribers constantly, even granting them day one releases for less than half of the cost of a game. As Xbox Game Pass gains in popularity, I'll lose my voice. More and more titles are being announced for it. And with the new games such as High on Life and Warhammer 40k Darktide, coming to the service in a few months, why those two specific? Why not Starfield? Okay.
He just chose his favorite games.
Yeah. Previously, only an individual could sign up for Xbox Game Pass without the ability to share their account and benefits. But it appears Microsoft is looking to change that, and as it officially unveils Xbox Game Pass Friends and Family Plan, back in March it was predicted Xbox might add a new subscription plan to Game Pass, and now 6 months later that prediction has came true. So what this is, I mean, everything has its family plan, like Amazon, Apple, and all that stuff now.
Yeah.
Or Nintendo has their family plan. This is pretty much mimicking the Nintendo thing, more or less. Nintendo for $25 a year or something like that, or $30. I don't know. It's not super expensive. You can share your account with up to like 5 people or something like that.
Wow.
And it works to the equivalent of like $3 or something like that per person. It becomes very cheap. that way. Let's see if it says anything about prices.
Will that negate, like, that'll get rid of, like, individual trophies and stuff, though? Like, if we shared an account, if I beat something on a game.
No. So what it's saying is that you will have a Xbox Game Pass family plan, so it'll just link
like Netflix.
all the accounts.
They'll each have.
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
No, that's that.
Yeah. It'll be akin to that more than anything. Here's prices. In Ireland, the price of Game Pass Ultimate is $12.99, whatever their currency is, or around $15. While the Friends and Family plan nearly doubles that, costing $21.99, or the equivalent up to $25. But even split 3 ways between us, that's still like $8.
Yeah.
Or whatever the math works out. It's just breaking it down, like it comes insanely cheap, but nothing much more to add to that. It's just Xbox adding a family plan to Game Pass Ultimate is cool. Get more people on it if this does it.
Yeah. Protect your accounts from your kids.
Yeah, or just have the kids have their own account now.
Yeah, no more messing up your KDRs and.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, or even like having your account on multiple Xboxes and having to worry about somebody sign into your account to use Game Pass, and you want to play Game Pass on the other Xbox, and now because they want to play, it's gonna sign you out or whatever.
True.
That's another thing. On the mention of subscription services, this is the last news story I have planned, at least written news story. Maybe there's a video thing or two that I'll see. PlayStation Plus monthly games and games catalog lineup revealed for September.
Okay.
This is on the PlayStation blog, so this is just straight up PlayStation. It's been more than 2 months since the all-new PlayStation Plus completed its launch rollout in late June. We are pleased to see positive feedback, and we've gotten from our members. This includes games available on the service such as Stray, Ghost of Tsushima, Marvel Spider-Man, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which are among the top of games played so far on the PlayStation Plus game catalog. Today we're excited to share the lineup we have in store for the month of September, and we're adding to both monthly games lineup for all members and games catalog for extra and premium members. The monthly games are available from September 6th, and the games catalog and classics from September 20th. September monthly games for the essential tier, because it's split up into 3 tiers. You got your premium, your extra, and your essential. On the essential tier, we got Need for Speed Heat on PS4, which is okay, cool. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. It's an Arc Systems fighting game. Arc Systems fighting games rule. It's definitely not the most beloved, but it's getting there. It's still very in its infancy with fighting games. And then you got Toem for PS5, which is a black and white kind of like Pokemon Snap. You're taking pictures of things and like adding them to your scrapbook and learning about the world around you in this game. And then what we got down on the extra and premium catalog, we got Deathloop for PS5.
Nice.
The arcane game by the Dishonored people. We got Assassin's Creed Origins for PS4. Talking about Assassin's Creed. You got the first of that trilogy. Watch Dogs 2, which is the Watch Dogs that people like. So that's that.
Nice.
It's not Legion or the first one, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball. You got Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. It's not fighters, but people like Xenoverse a lot. That's the RPG Dragon Ball game before Kakarot. People like that. And then it's leaving Xbox but coming to PlayStation. We got Spiritfarer Farewell Edition for PS4. We talked about Spiritfarer. That's coming to PlayStation now, starting the 20th. I think that's it.
Well, dang, it's going to leave Xbox. It's going to go to PlayStation.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start it over.
That's how these exclusive subscriptions work. This sucks. But
that's fine. I might honestly buy it, but
another indie darling on top of that. Giant Bomb's Game of the Year for last year. Chicory, A Colorful Tale.
Oh, yeah.
A beautiful little indie Zelda-like where you make the world happy.
It looks like
paint it.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Yeah, it's a good game. Really cute, good game.
Yeah.
With my drink, I guess that's the only way I could cross over. I guess with I should have taken a sip and be like, Monster. You got Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 5.
Wow.
For PS4 and PS5.
Heck yeah, we don't have enough motocross games.
Yep, motocross sims. I mean,
we need one by Monster.
So much. It could be the shittiest motocross racing game. I just have so much fun. It just put me on a dirt bike in a video game. It's just such a I don't know. I just feel great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I used to play for hours on ATV Off-Road Fury 2.
Yeah.
Just jumping dunes all night.
Yeah.
All day, all night.
Yeah. I have the second one right here. That'd be fun to play.
Yeah, no, that was fun. That's the one.
You said off-road racing.
Oh yeah, that's where I learned the song Spoon Man, because they only had so many songs. It was a very limited soundtrack, and so Spoon Man played a lot, and
yeah,
I was like Spoon Man like all the time.
I think the only one that I remember like soundtrack wise is that Pearl Jam would play constantly.
Yeah, it was definitely a Pearl Jam.
Or maybe it was Alice in Chains. Who made Them Bones?
Rooster, probably? Or,
no, Them Bones. It might have been Alice in Chains.
Yeah,
sounds
maybe.
Like Alice in Chains sound. Anyways, regardless. I'm talking about games that should be remade and stuff. Well, here's a remake. I don't know if it should have been remade, but it was cool that it did. Alex Kidd in the Miracle World DX. Do you know what Alex Kidd in the Miracle World is?
No clue.
Do you know what the Sega Master System is?
Nope.
It's the Sega console before the Genesis.
Wow.
The Sega Master System is very old. Alex Kidd was a platformer back then that was kind of like Mario Brothers, but he like had a magical wand and stuff like that. They remade it. It's okay. It's cool. It's really pretty. But the PS4 and PS5 version are coming. Then we got Rabbids Invasion, the interactive TV show for PS4.
Okay.
I wouldn't say we're getting bottom tier, but like we're just sure, why not? But with the Rabbids, we got Rayman Legends.
I love Rayman.
You can't have Rayman's raving Rabbids without Rayman.
That's true.
Rayman Legends is actually a really good game.
Yeah, it is.
Speaking of really good games, on top of that, and remakes or ports, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, the complete edition for PS4.
Nice.
Okay. That was all of the modern games. Now we got classics. We got Siphon Filter 2.
Nice.
For the PS1.
I love that game.
And then what I'm the most excited for, which I think you'll be very excited for, the Sly Collection.
Oh yeah.
For PS3.
Absolutely. Both Spy
all
games.
3.
That's cool.
All 3 Sly games.
That's neat. They're just introducing all the stealth right out the bat.
Yeah. You got Sly Cooper, Sly 2, and Sly 3
nice.
on all of it. And then you got the 4th one, Sly Cooper Thieves in Time for PS3 coming.
Wow.
And then you got the PS Vita game coming. I think it was PS Vita. It might have been PSP, but Bentley's Hack Pack.
Wow.
The PS3 version of that. Yeah, you got the whole Sly collection coming September 20th, which is very exciting. It is the PS3 versions of those.
So you have to stream them or whatever.
Yeah, streaming only, which is unfortunate, but those games aren't super high fidelity, so whatever. Those are gonna be fine.
Yeah, yeah, man, I'm excited.
Yeah, and then we got PSP games. We got the PSP version of Toy Story 3.
Okay.
Toy Story 3 is like a really good game. I don't know why they chose the PS3 version or the PSP version, not the PS3 version.
Right.
The Xbox 360 version's backwards compatible, so I just played that one. 'Cause that game's really good, and I don't want to look at the PSP version when there's a superior version that plays better.
Right.
But maybe the PSP version is a completely different game.
Yeah, maybe.
It's old enough where that could be the case for like handheld games were just completely different. It's like Tony Hawk's handheld versions were a completely different game.
Right.
Another PSP game, we got Kingdom of Paradise. I don't know. Yeah. I guess that's it. Kingdom of Paradise was last on the list.
Nice.
Yeah. It says it's an epic RPG originally released for the PSP. Now enhanced with rendering, rewind, and quick save. So that's cool. But yeah. We got Sly on there. Sly's on the list.
That's great.
That's the big one that I was excited for. It was like, it could have been fuck all anything else. I mean, news is news. Fuck, I didn't pull up NPDs. That was the one thing. I can do that next thing. Next podcast. But, yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. But, I mean, just like, scan like GameSpot or something and like see if there's like another thing we could talk about, because if not, I think we could leave it there, because that's all I have for news. Yeah, look at the difference in that. You see the PS3 and PS5 difference?
Like, yeah.
It does look night and day better.
There's a lot, yeah.
It's kind of insane. Oh, here's a rumor thing. I think it was data mine, but Big Chungus might be heading to Multiverses.
Oh, that is another game I was playing, Multiverses.
Yeah, that was not last week, but the week before we talked about that. Yeah, how was that? Are you enjoying your time with it?
That one was fun.
Yeah.
I've been having a good time playing.
Have you unlocked anything else?
Yeah, well, I have it. They give you Wonder Woman, and then I think I unlocked another character. I think I chose. I want to say Bugs Bunny, maybe.
Yeah.
It was one of them. But then they give you the 2 free characters, so those have been fun to play.
Yeah.
And then I also did the wrestling.
Game. Oh, Rumbleverse.
Rumbleverse, yeah.
Yeah, you like.
I did that one. That one didn't connect with me as much.
Yeah.
It had like, it looks really nice. It kind of has like that Fortnite vibe.
Yeah, definitely.
It plays kind of like that. And it's cool, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just, there's only so much. Maybe when it comes out for a little bit, there's only like so much you can do. Like you can fight like wrestling is very 1-on-1, maybe 2-on-2 or whatever. So when there's so many people involved, you're not like waiting your turn to do a move, but like sometimes you just can't do something because 2 other people are kind of, I don't know. It just seems
you can't like grapple on a group of people.
Right, exactly. The moves are still very like, not linear, but like, they're not openly fluid. They're limited. I don't know what kind of word it would be, but like, you can only do so much at a time.
No, I get you.
And also like, and then when I was playing, like the map was really big for there only being so many people. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
You're supposed to be able to like climb buildings and stuff. That's,
you can do that, but it's like you'll see people way over there. So now I have to go all the way over there to punch them. Yeah. Because there's no guns. So it's like, maybe make the arenas smaller or something. I don't know.
Or make the circle shrink faster.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe make it more like, maybe make the levels taller instead of wider, if that makes sense. Like.
Yeah, but then I feel like you might reach the same thing, but just like, I'm just climbing a lot now.
Right. But that made me more exciting because at least like they give you that like those slam options so you can like, jump off things. I don't know. Battle Royales only get me for so long anyways.
Yeah.
Eventually, because I just don't have the amount of time you really need. You get stuck after a while unless you put more time in to learn new mechanics and stuff. And that's just a game that I'm not gonna do that with at all. And it didn't connect with me enough in the beginning. Like I might go back to it again when they introduce more new stuff or whatever. It's still kind of fresh, but I don't know.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I wanted to check it out. I mean, I've seen a lot of gameplay of it, so like, I knew what it would be. But yeah, if you said it's just okay, it kind of makes me even more intrigued to check it out. So
yeah.
Yeah, I'm down to play. I still haven't touched Multiverses. I think I probably won't. Like Smash Bros is cool, but like I like watching people play Smash Brothers rather than playing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. That's Some people are insane.
I'm always tempted by a battle royale.
Mm-hmm.
They're not multiplayer. Anything is not very. It's not for me usually, but every time there's a Fortnite update, I'm like, ooh, maybe this is the one.
Oh, I was just thinking that the other day.
Maybe I want to play some Dragon Ball Z Fortnite right now.
I was watching some gameplay the other day, and now that like building is an option or whatever, it like makes it a little more like I do want to like experience the world of Fortnite because there's other stuff besides just battle.
Yeah, I want to go fucking raid a tomb to do the Indiana Jones quest or like go fishing or go on the roller coaster, like just
there's a lot of silly things that you can do.
And me as an old man, I'm like, I remember Fortnite in 2015 when it was a zombie tower defense game.
It was just
And that's my memory of this shitty game.
Tomatoes versus hamburgers or something. Wasn't it like an event at one point? Like it was like a versus. It was like a.
That might have been the Battle Royale thing, but this was like original Fortnite was a straight up. You were in a house like this. And you were just setting up traps and stuff like that with your group of 4, and then waves of zombies would come in. More like Call of Duty zombies, like old school Call of Duty zombies.
Oh yeah.
Where you're straight up boarding windows and like setting traps in front of the door and shooting down zombies out the window and stuff like that, and just trying to survive wave after wave after wave. And there is a progression. You like try to survive like the week, and each like certain amount you survive, you like progress through the map or whatever, and it would change like your location of where you would be, and like it would be a bigger house or like a house that's 3 stories tall, or maybe this house is like 5 rooms long or like whatever. I think there was like some randomness to it as well. But yeah, then the Battle Royale came out. It was like, this game's not selling well. Yeah. We gotta do something quick. Which is interesting, because, like, they stopped printing copies of that game maybe 6 months in. And then the Battle Royale came out, and those discs shot up in price.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
Those Fortnite discs still might be like $300. Like, if you have a physical copy on Fortnite, you're sitting on, like, a few Benjamins right now.
Right.
Like, that's kind of crazy for a dead disc. Like, I have a few games that are dead discs, but, like, I have MAG, the massive action game, where PlayStation was trying to make, like, a giant, basically, Battle Royale, or 100-man deathmatch, or whatever. And then we were talking about, Boss Key Studios' last podcast with Radical Heights, the game show Battle Royale with the BMX bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
Before that, he worked on a game called Lawbreakers, which was a hero arena shooter, where it was like low gravity and stuff like that. And the whole idea was that these people were on like a life sentence and battled to the death.
Oh, interesting.
But it was all like Halo, like gravity and stuff like that, all sci-fi space. But that game is, a dead disc now. That game doesn't exist anymore.
Wow.
So it's also a limited run disc too. So that's the reason why I kept it. It was like, this is like, not only does this game not exist anymore, this is a limited run disc. So it was like, it's collectible just because it has the limited run number 298 or whatever the number actually is in the series. And because the game is dead, they have no reason to reprint it ever again. Even with the physical store being a thing now.
Right.
But yeah, it doesn't look like any other game news. I mean, we talked about, if you want to listen to us talk about Gamescom, because Gamescom was the other big thing that happened. We did a 2-hour show on that, so that was fun. We basically scrubbed through all of Opening Night Live and Futures Game Show. We talked a little bit about what was on the sidelines. We talked about Lies of P and the gameplay and stuff. We didn't talk about Black Myth Wukong this time around, but we've both seen the trailer. It looks really good. I was thinking we were going to do a segment on it and rewatch it, but we've already watched it together. And I've done my reaction on it. So
looks super good though.
Yeah, that game.
Gonna play that.
The game looks crazy. It's 2028 for all I care. It's that game comes out and is it amazing as it is right now?
Right.
Fuck yeah, dude. Straight up. Like, I'm so hyped.
Yeah, the fact that it's only gonna look, well, should only look better.
Yeah.
Than what they've already shown is like gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it's insane. Oh, there was another news story. I mean, it's not a huge. I mean, it's a huge news story to me, but it's another like business insider thing. But China put it in my head. Sony and Tencent have increased their stakes in From Software, totaling 30% of the stakes of From Software.
Wow.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, just another investment. I would imagine Bloodborne 2 could be a possibility. Maybe they're just like, Elden Ring 2 Elden Ring is such a massive hit. We want to make sure Elden Ring 2 is happening. Like, just pump money into it. Tencent, I'm sure, is a little bit more nefarious with their reasons behind it because it's Tencent.
Yeah.
And their reputation. But PlayStation loves From Software and has for a very long time.
Right. Of course.
I could see with all of the Xbox acquisitions and stuff, PlayStation buying From Software within a near distant future. And I feel like that might be the retaliation when the Activision deal goes through. Is that Sony is going to put money down on the table for From Software. How much money is From Software going to want? Probably a lot more than what Sony's wanting to pay for.
Yeah.
But I feel like you could probably get a $4 billion out of From Software.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if Sony wants to pony up $4 billion, but Xbox might. But Xbox kind of has their hands tied until the Activision thing for sure goes through.
Right.
But the other Sony news is that Sony bought a mobile studio a couple days ago because they're planning on increasing their mobile efforts, is what they're called. They said.
Okay.
They said it wouldn't take away from any games or anything like that. They just want a mobile developer that makes good mobile games to make a AAA mobile game with one of their IPs. So they bought a studio that was good with that.
Interesting.
I forgot what the studio had made, but that's the ambition, along with like their online service games that they're trying to create. They want 11 online service games by 2024 announced, or something like that. So this is another thing, and then dumping money into From.
Right.
I could see also Sony buying one of the big publishers that aren't bought up yet soon.
Right.
If they could always keep it Japanese and buy Square Enix. I mean, we've talked about it a little bit here and there on pretty much every single podcast since we started the show, just because it's been relevant. But, yeah, Square Enix or Capcom or any of the big Japanese studios, I could totally see, or publishers, I could totally see them buying.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think Sony cares as much about it being a publisher, maybe a studio, but with publishers bring IP, and talent is very important, and Xbox knows that, and that's why they're fine with buying studios and stuff like that. But the reason why Xbox wants publishers is because of IP.
Yeah.
It wasn't because Activision has 20-something studios all folded into Call of Duty. It was because of Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just because of Call of Duty. It was because of Spyro and Tony Hawk and Legacy of Kain and all the Midway shit and all of these different legacy IP that Activision owns, being around in the industry for the last 40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. While Sony, on the other hand, is buying studios. Sony's thinking very small and close to the chest, while Xbox is thinking subscription service, adding IP. It doesn't matter if they're making a new game, but if we could port Legacy, that's just more titles that we're shoving in there. And then with the hopes that they make something new. You better quit! You better lay down! Dog getting in the trash. Let's see. Before I finish my final thoughts. Lay down. Looking guilty and shit. Sony is not thinking that way. I really think if they buy From Software, of course, they have Bloodborne and Demon Souls, because Sony already owns technically that IP.
Yeah.
But then now they own Dark Souls and Elden Ring. Plus whatever else that they make. Armored Core. Yeah, so on and so forth. That could be a huge deal. I could see Sony being spiteful like that. Sony is very much back into its arrogant PS3 ways.
Yeah.
But when we're talking acquisitions, Microsoft specifically, not even just Xbox, but the parent company of Microsoft, just being Microsoft, their pockets are deep as hell and bottomless.
Yeah.
And Sony cannot pony up billions, let alone $70 billion for Activision.
No.
If From Software is asking for $4 billion, Xbox is like, yeah, we'll buy you for $6-7 billion. Of course that's gonna be the move.
Right.
You know, like as much as there's legacy with Demon Souls or Bloodborne or Deracine, the PSVR game, or whatever, Armored Core, from way back when. Yeah, that doesn't mean shit when you're talking like $4 extra billion or whatever it would pay for. Because Xbox would definitely pony up that money for it. Like, Elden Ring 2 being an exclusive on Xbox is huge.
That would be crazy.
And
especially with how good the first one did, it would be just mind.
Yeah. I really hope it doesn't go the other way though, and it goes to somewhere like fucking Tencent or what's the other one that's getting very NIS, NIS, or not NIS, maybe it's NIS. I don't know. There's another. No, NIS is Japanese and they make Disgaea. There's another company that sounds like NIS. It's like NES. But yeah, that's where the Yakuza dude went to. But I don't know. Or it could be Embracer. Embracer could be the one to pony up that money. Embracer doesn't have Microsoft money either, though.
Yeah.
Like, nobody has Microsoft money. The only people who have Microsoft money is Apple. And Apple's not buying studios like that. I think they might pony up. They might start sometime soon.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, but with Xbox Cloud coming to Apple browsers and Android, like, what is Apple gonna do? Like, if you can play Xbox games,
right,
like on your phone, like, what is Apple gonna do?
Yeah.
You know?
Are they gonna? Yeah.
What, are they gonna start spending billions of dollars on these studios?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either, but like, I don't know, if it was like even on a small scale, like if they wanted to buy like just Rocksteady from Warner Brothers, like what would that do for them?
Right.
What would Apple do with that? Like, do they know what they want to do with that?
They could. I mean,
it's like the Google thing.
Yeah.
Like, somebody, just because they want to get into games, are they gonna know what to do with games? I mean, they have the Apple arcade stuff, but that's all third-party stuff.
Yeah.
That's all somebody else is making the games, and they just curate it on their service. That's not it's not them developing, let alone publishing a game or anything like that.
Right. They just have to hire the right people.
Yeah, they do have exclusives. They on Apple Arcade, like if it's on Apple Arcade exclusively, like you can't buy that game. You can only play it on Apple Arcade, and you won't be able to play it on Android until whatever exclusivity runs out. Yeah, but I don't see that happening. Not with Xbox coming to it, you know. But yeah, Patrick, that's really all I have for today. About that, now that I have all of the little thoughts now sprinkled out there, the little things that was like, oh, there's a couple of hidden bowling points in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any final closing thoughts? Anything you're specifically excited for? Anything from last week that you're still thinking about?
I'm still pretty excited for Life of P, or The Lies of P.
Yeah.
The Life of P. It sounds. It reminds me of that title.
Life of Pi.
Life of Pi. Right.
Yeah. I Jeff Grubb said Lies of Pi, Life of Pi,
Yeah.
Lies of P,
Very,
Leaf of P.
Very on the nose. Like, people are gonna Google it and get confused.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited for that. I am very, like, I was just thinking earlier, and I may have even mentioned it last week, or last recording, that Pinocchio is just getting a lot of remakes in general, not even for the game. There's just, like, in the last couple of years, there's just been several movies that have come out and stuff, and I just think it's strange. But out of all of them, this is the most exciting take, I think. Like,
yeah, I wonder
the darkest route they could go, I guess.
I wonder if it hit like public domain a couple years ago, and that's why. And now
That
we're
must
finally
be. That would make sense, because a lot of
that.
Disney stuff in the last few years, I believe, did.
Yeah.
I think it hit that mark.
Like Winnie the Pooh and.
Yeah, exactly, like Winnie the Pooh. I think it's all falling. But it's weird because Disney's making a new Pinocchio as well.
Yes, Disney still owns.
On top of the.
Like
others.
certain characters in Pinocchio, like Jiminy Cricket is
Right.
like an actual Disney character.
They should do a spin-off of just him. Like, tell me about this guy, this Cricket, where'd he come from? Give me a life of Jiminy.
I'm pretty sure he's in other things. Is he not? I thought he was in other things.
I know, but I want like his own story. Like, I want to know
or something
where
like
he
that?
comes from. I'm not sure. I believe he is. Like, he's like one of those.
He's from Pinocchio. That's his. I mean, that was the original movie.
Yeah, but he's like an old man. I want to know like
Oh.
the childhood of Jiminy. Like,
I thought it
why
was
is he
like
a talking, skipping cricket.
Oh, I thought it was like Geppetto's pet or whatever. It's been a long time since I've seen Pinocchio.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I thought it was like Geppetto's main boy.
He's like one of those like. He's kind of like Deadpool though. He like breaks the fourth wall all the time and like knows
he's magical.
everything. I don't know. I think there's more to it. Guillermo del Toro or something can give me a good twist on that.
Good on that.
Guillermo del Toro.
No, not after. What was that? I think Tim Burton was supposed to do one. and there was like one with Pauly Shore as Pinocchio.
Give me a David Lynch.
I don't know. I don't need a.
That one happened.
The Pauly Shore one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's out there.
Yeah. The Tim Burton one, I don't think ever happened. Did it? Maybe it did.
I'm not sure. That's what I'm saying. There's so many.
They did. I know Dumbo eventually did come out.
Yeah.
He did eventually make Dumbo. Anyways, this isn't a movie podcast. This is a game. He does look dope.
Excited about the game.
I'm excited.
I don't even care what it's about or if it's about. It could be about anything. It looks good.
Well, I've seen what it's about, and you can see what it's about in the reaction video I did to all the gameplay.
Nice.
Yeah, go watch that after you watch this, or go re-listen to old Praise the Run episodes from back. It's only been a month. This is episode 5.
It's been a whole 5.
Month. A whole month.
The real 5.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
You know what's exciting?
Cookies.
Sure. I was gonna say ending the episode so we can.
Everyone listening probably isn't excited about that. They want to hear us for 8 more hours.
Well, you can listen to us more in the upcoming episodes of Praise the Run.
Yeah.
So tune in next week.
And if you listen back to the ones we've already done, listen to them again and try to listen to the little Easter eggs we've left in there. Play it in reverse and see if you can pick up the things that we laid in the sub audio.
The meta audio.
Yeah. It might take a few listens, but just do it, and eventually you'll pick it all up. And if you decipher the message, you win a prize. So do that.
Hell yeah. And comment on all of it as well.
Yeah. Even if you're just commenting and saying Patrick's a big bag of trash. Every comment counts. So just just say that 10 times. It'll fall into the algorithm of YouTube. Help us out by calling me a big bag of trash.
Engagement engages, and it pushes it in front of people. Anyways, and also watch other videos on the MrBenShow.
And do that. Maybe one day I'll figure out how to do that too.
Go check out Patrick's Instagram to see where he's posting shows.
Yeah, follow my Twitter. Oh, that's a thing. It's a personal thing. Last thing, maybe. I'm starting to take my non-joke writing works and post them on things that I can post on my Twitter. So eventually, if you follow my Twitter, you'll see stories that aren't necessarily jokes. They'll probably be sad or scary. But whatever, just another thing.
Lovely.
So, hell yeah. Enough of me.
Hell yeah. Yeah, go follow Patrick. Go follow me. Go follow it all.
Yes. And
peace out, Cub Scouts.
Later.
It's been fun. Bye.